Everyone, welcome to Back Talk Sports. I'm TJ Horgan. Alongside me, we have John, a rookie here at YBA. You excited to be part of it?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Thanks for having me on today.
That's good. And we also have Carter Woodiel, our New York correspondent, calling in for the whole show, too. Carter, you with us?
Yes, I'm here. How are you doing, TJ?
Pretty good. How about you, Carter?
I'm doing all right.
All right, that's good. So, Carter, what's going on in New York sports? You want to talk some Yankees?
I absolutely do. That's the number one topic right now in the New York metropolitan area. The New York Yankees in Game 2 at Camden Yards tonight in their ALDS matchup with the Baltimore Orioles. The Yankees won Game 1 last night 7-2 thanks to a ninth-inning outburst. The starting pitchers, Andy Pettitte on the mound for the Yankees, and he'll face Wei Chin for the Orioles. Andy Pettitte has won more postseason games than anyone else in the history of baseball. So it looks like the Yankees have the advantage tonight. Guys, who do you think could win this one?
You know, that's a good point that you bring up about Andy Pettitte's clutch in the postseason. Wei Chen is a young pitcher, and he could get shaken today. But he has proven to be a very capable starter, by far the Orioles' best starter this year. What do you think, John?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, Andy Pettitte, most starts ever in MLB postseason history, so he's obviously been around the block a few times and knows what he's doing. Orioles, less experience, first time in the playoffs, and I don't even know how many years. It's been a while, though. So the way the Yankees played last night, I have to go with the Yankees. As much as it kills me to have them winning tonight, I do have them winning tonight.
Definitely. You know, it'll definitely be a shootout. Wei Chen could drive the Orioles to a win. But let's talk some more MLB postseason. John and Carter, who do you guys see in the World Series this year? I'm not going to quite ask for a winner yet, but who do you see in the World Series?
I have the Tigers and the Giants. Tigers riding Miguel Cabrera, Triple Crown winner, and really they have what you need is a dominant ace starting pitcher. And if you can ride him throughout the playoffs, you could easily go to the World Series. On the National League side of things, I have the Giants. I think that could easily be the Nationals too, but the Giants have been there. They also have that dominant starting pitcher in Matt Cain. So right now I have Tigers, Giants. National League I think is a little more open than the American League. I could see the Nationals in there, even maybe the Reds. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a fun MLB postseason, though.
Yep, the Giants are in a hole right now against the Cincinnati Reds. They're down 2-0, and Cincinnati's got 3 games at home to try and wrap that up. And I don't think the Giants are going to be able to come out of that. I think it's the Nationals that are going to come out of the National League, even without Steven Strasburg, which I think was a dumb decision not to pitch him in the postseason. I think that Gio Gonzalez is a good enough of a lockdown ace, like you were mentioning, to bring the team forward. The Tigers, I can understand if Miguel Cabrera can just go on a tear and take that team all the way, but I think the Oakland Athletics are going to be a tough hill to climb. I know they're down 2-0, but they got 3 home games, and I really think that based on what we saw last night and based on the way Andy Pettitte, I mean, if he looks good tonight, I think the Yankees are going to be the team out of the American League, and the Tigers could do it, but I think the Yankees are right now better equipped, although it's a close one.
You know, I have to agree with you with the Yankees in the AL, Carter. The Yankees, I believe, are by far the most experienced team there. I think they will win. I think they will win in terms of the AL and get to the World Series. For the National League, you guys both didn't pick them. I'm going the Cincinnati Reds. They absolutely routed the San Francisco Giants last night, and they faced Madison Bumgarner, who is a very capable pitcher. Granted, he is very ripe, 22 years old. However, Bronson Arroyo is not an ace. He's not even in their top 3 starters. So I would have to say the Reds are a very capable team.
One more thing I just want to throw in about the Nationals is that even without Steven Strasburg, they still have very good pitching. Jordan Zimmermann and Gio Gonzalez are
Ross Detweiler is a good pitcher.
Great pitchers there. So they're a very good team as well.
No doubt. All right, so we're going to move on to another MLB postseason topic. This happened a while ago with the Braves losing the wild card game. The infield fly rule, it looked like the NFL replacement refs got in their Halloween costumes a little early this year and put on MLB umpire uniforms. Carter, what do you think about this whole infield fly rule, basically a mistake?
Well, the infield fly rule is the one rule that only the really in-depth baseball fans can truly understand, and the exact nuances of it kind of came up in this fallout. Essentially, the play happened all the way out in left field. I mean, the shortstop just ran and ran and ran, and he was way out of what would be constituted as an infield if you asked most people. What the umpire argued was that he had done an ordinary effort when going after the ball, which is what the rule says. But I don't think that the infield fly rule should have been applied for a ball that was almost called off by the Braves left fielder.
Yeah, I believe in the infield fly rule there is a clause that says it has to be in the infield. So what do you think, John?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with what you said, Carter. It's clear the ball was way out in the outfield. Even though the shortstop did go after it, it was way out in the outfield. It is the infield fly, as you mentioned. So wrong call. It's unfortunate that had to happen.
It is very unfortunate that it had to happen, especially for Chipper Jones to go out that way. He had a great career. Anyway, we'll move on to some NFL. We'll talk some Patriots. Carter, what did you think of the Pats game?
Well, the game was. I didn't get a chance to see it. It's not on here in New York City, but
Yep.
the Patriots season right now has been pretty much what we've expected back here.
Mm-hmm. What about you, John?
Great game. Tom Brady outdueled Peyton Manning, which as a Patriots fan is great to see.
It is.
I love seeing that. And the thing that really stood out to me, I think we're going to talk about this a little bit more, is the running game. Mm-hmm. This is 2 weeks now. They've had, Stephen Ridley has had over 100 yards. They've had, I want to say, over 200 yards rushing. Mm-hmm. Not completely sure on that, but they've had a lot of rushing yards. They have 3 backs right now that are completely capable of carrying the ball. Danny Woodhead had 2 huge rushes for them in that game. Stephen Ridley is an excellent back, minus that 1 fumble, which we got saved on that. Mm-hmm. But it was a great game by the Patriots. Tom Brady proved why he is so dominant. Secondary defense could have been a little bit better, I thought. Defense as a whole plays pretty good. Chandler Jones keeps doing well. Vince Wilfork plugs up the middle well. Brandon Spikes has also had a good couple games. So good game overall. Happy to see them at 2-3. Or 3-2, excuse me, over 500 and back on track to winning the AFC East.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you mentioned the run game. That's definitely a large part of the Patriots' success this year. I mean, not 2 games ago, when you have 2 people rushing over 100 yards, that is just unheard of in New England. I mean, Tom Brady has never had exceptional running backs, and Stephen Ridley, he's becoming consistent. Yeah. He was a starter at LSU for many years, and you know, this year he could really break out of his shell. What do you think about Stephen Ridley, Carter?
Well, no matter what team you're talking about, and I don't care what quarterback it is, if you can add a great run game, it makes the team better because it keeps defenses guessing. And like you said, Stephen Ridley has looked really good for this Patriots offense. And I think that if he can come into his own and kind of become more of a stable part of Tom Brady, Bill Belichick's system, then it would make the Patriots that much tougher to beat. Because if you've got a great quarterback like Tom Brady, who might go to the run every once in a while with a great running back, it really can freak out some defenses and go the Patriots' way.
One more thing is last year they were such a pass-dominant team. Now this year, with this run game, as Carter mentioned, the defense is really going to have to question, is Tom Brady going to launch the field with his precision passing, or are they going to hand the ball off to Stephen Ridley, who is more than capable of getting a first down on any given play? So it keeps the defenses guessing, keeps the defensive coordinators awake at night. So it makes the Patriots that much more deadly.
He really is. You know, he is a powerhouse there. Right. He is tied for 3rd in the NFL in rushing yards. Stephen Ridley is no doubt a capable back in New England, and he's a powerhouse back. If you need even 3 yards, I would say, just give it to him. He'll pound it up the middle. Right. Also, another thing I'd like to add, Aaron Hernandez, he has been out for the past 3 weeks. He possibly coming back next week. How do you think his addition to the Patriots will help their season?
No doubt help him. I mean, it's just another weapon for Tom Brady, another toy for him to play with. They already have so much. They got Wes Welker, Brandon Lloyd, Rob Gronkowski, these running backs. You add Aaron Hernandez in the mix. Oh my goodness! Look at what they're going to be able to do out there. It's unbelievable. I mean, any New York team, I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with them. So it's going to be look for the Patriots are looking good, especially with Hernandez coming back.
Carter, talk about your Jets facing Houston tonight. How do you think that'll be?
Well, I don't think it's going to be particularly good. Houston is looking just on fire right now, 4-0, one of the best defenses in football. And the Jets, like we talked about on the show last week, they are just falling apart. Mark Sanchez, I mean, we could see a miracle. We could see Mark Sanchez come out of his shell under pressure in the Meadowlands and come in with a big game and maybe lead the Jets to a victory, but I think it's a lot easier to envision another tough game for Mark Sanchez and another debilitating loss for the Jets tonight. This franchise just doesn't look like it's going anywhere.
I'd have to agree with that. It doesn't look like it's going anywhere. So we're going to talk some fantasy football right now. YBA is a fantasy football league. I'm in it with Carter and a bunch of other YBA members. Carter, how's your team looking?
Well, speaking of teams that aren't going anywhere,
yeah.
My team, the New Jersey Nachos, fell to 2-3 last week. My QB, Matt Stafford, had a bye. I picked up Ryan Fitzpatrick to replace him, and
against San Francisco's defense.
The 49ers defense just ate him up.
Yeah.
And that's basically been the whole thing of my team on draft day. I took a bunch of running backs and wide receivers thinking, well, if I take a bunch of middle-of-the-pack guys, one of them's going to pop. None of them have popped. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, it's done just about what I've expected, and the rest have dropped. And I've been a little bit sad on the waiver wire. I made a great pick with Andre Brown a couple weeks back, but other than that, it's been tough for my fantasy team right now.
Yep. What's your record, Carter?
I'm at 2-3.
2-3. So there's definitely still a chance there. Captain Horgan, I am at 4-1 right now. Earlier in the year, I keep bragging about this to David Keefe, who's in the league. I faced him this week. I traded him Darren McFadden, and he gave me A.J. Green. Right now you think, oh, why would he do that? That's a steal. But before the season, I was told by practically everybody at YBA that I was getting a terrible deal, that I shouldn't do that trade. Now, A.J. Green has been the most productive wide receiver out there. So you play fantasy football also?
I do. I'm not in your league, unfortunately, but we are in what you guys call the Star Pack League. There's only 6 players, so there's a lot of talent there for you to pick up. So it's who's going to get the better team. But I'm 3-1 right now, probably 4-1 by the end of this week. So I'm doing pretty well. Some things I have for you out there who also play fantasy football, some things you might want to do this week. I said drop Matt Castle. If you have him, get rid of him. He got hurt this week. He got cheered off the field, I guess,
awful.
Yeah, it's just not good. He has negative points last week. He had 5 points the week before that. They also have a good running game there with Jamal Charles, so they can just hand it off, and he does well. And there might even be a quarterback change in Kansas City. We, of course, didn't talk to our Kansas City insiders yet today, but they're 1-4. They need something to spark them up. They have a lot of talent on that team.
They really do.
Yep, and they just can't seem to win games. They got a good coach in Romeo Cornell. So maybe there is a quarterback change in Kansas City, so get rid of Castle.
Possibly, and if you're getting rid of Castle, a guy who you can pick up who is available in most ESPN leagues, Christian Ponder. For completion percentages in the NFL, number 1, Robert Griffin III. 69.1% of his passes are complete. Number 2, Christian Ponder. 69% completion percentage. This guy is on fire. He has pretty good talent to pass to. He has Percy Harvin, who clearly he has passed to. Percy Harvin's a triple threat. He runs the ball, never mind outstanding receiving performances, and he can get kick return touchdowns. Adrian Peterson can catch the ball, so look for Christian Ponder. He has the rookie tight end Kyle Rudolph, who can really come out of his shell. What do you think, Carter?
But remember, it's going to be hard for Christian Ponder to get a lot of yards when you've got Adrian Peterson, one of the best running backs in the NFL, just right behind you, ready to take a handoff. When Adrian Peterson is healthy, which he is, it's really tricky for him to just eclipse 200 yards in a game. I mean, he can complete a ton of passes, but he's just not passing all that often, and it makes it difficult for him to be a viable option.
I'm not saying start Ponder religiously. I'm saying that if your quarterback's on a bye or your quarterback has a really tough matchup and Ponder has an easy matchup against one of the worst passing defenses, pick up Ponder. I mean, sure, Peterson has a great run game, but what that does, it opens up more passing lanes. When teams with bad pass defenses are focusing on the run, Ponder will pick them apart.
I definitely think Ponder is a good quarterback on the rise, came out of Florida State, good program there. Yeah, it's definitely, if you're struggling, you need a quarterback, I would definitely pick up Ponder. It's a good pickup.
Mm-hmm.